demanding. So with that said, let's just try and come into the present moment. Just spend 10 breaths being aware of ourselves. Some of us like to place attention in the breathing, some of them the actual point at which the air comes in and out. Other people like to feel their heart. Just find a point that helps you arrive at this moment and this place. Coming back or opening our eyes again, coming back to that place in our mat. We will start trying to hold that awareness for the rest of the class. So let's just start by actually mobilizing the shoulders by breathing in, taking our arms up, filling up the lungs to the maximum capacity at this moment. And then as we breathe out, we gently release the air and take the arms down, palms facing down. Release the air completely. Breathing in, arms up, filling up the lungs. Raising the shoulders rather than scrunching them. Yeah, raising the shoulders. Breathing out, arms down, palms facing down. Last time, breathing in, both palms up. Already becoming aware of which parts of the bodies are moving, under the arms, above the shoulders. Breathing in, shoulders up. Now continue stretching while you continue breathing normally. Obviously, don't block your breathing. Just feel under the side bodies here stretching while the inside of the shoulders are contracting or compressing. Maybe the lower spine is lifting, core is engaged. Continue breathing, continue stretching the arms up rather than into the ears. Relax the neck. And then on the next out breath, we can just release the arms very gently down. Next out breath, left hand on the left side and bend to the left. Really releasing all the air, emptying the lungs. Next in breath, both arms up. Out breath, right side. Breathing in, both arms up. Breathing out, left side. And then do breathe heavily if you want to make noises, make sounds. You're all muted and the body really appreciates. Breathing in, arms up. Last time on the right side. Breathing out on the right side. This is just mobilizing the spine before we start doing some more generous work. Breathing in, both arms up. This time we're going to twist. Breathe in, arms up. Breathe out, right hand on the left knee, and we twist to the left. And again, breathe out, twist, let the air leave the lungs as we go deeper into the twist. Breathing in, gently, both arms up. Breathing out, left hand, right knee, and we twist to the right. In, arms up. One more twist to the left. Right hand, left knee, twist to the left and sigh out. Breathing in, arms up. Breathing out to the right. Breathing in, arms up. We do like a bent twist. Right hand, left knee, right shoulder, right knee. And then just, I'm not going to direct the breathing because this is a little bit more complicated, but basically we're just twist bending and just enjoy that. Just let the shoulder drop towards the right knee as we take the left shoulder above our ears. Just enjoy that twist bend. What could we call it? We could call it a twend or a twist. Thinking both arms up. Like right hand, left knee, and then we twend, twist bend to the left. Just do your own breathing as we take our left shoulder deep onto the left knee. And And then on the next in-breath, gently coming up, arms up, and hands down. Right, the last part of this sitting exercise is going to be cat-cows. Normally we do them in a table position, but we can do them this way. Just release the arms to flow as we're going to do this. So let the hands just actually slide. So we're going to breathe in, take the chest open, chin up, hips forward. And then we're going to breathe out, round the spine, shoulders inwards, tummy in, chin to chest. Breathing in, what would be a cow in the classical format. Breathing out, what would be a cat in the classical format. So just bending the spine forwards and backwards, round the spine. Arch the spine and use your breathing at your own time. Maybe I won't call the shots this time, just let you actually find your own breathing. And maybe close the eyes, which accentuates the inner awareness of our body. One more each way. Coming back to neutral. Okay, that's a little bit of mobilizing a spine. Let's just come out of there and we're going to go on to all fours. Now we're going to do a nice special exercise. This is not cat-cow, but it's similar, and I will explain what it's about. So we're going to do or just watch before we do it. So we're going to do a classic cat-cow where we breathe out and we arch around the back. Then we breathe in and we arch the back. But this time, when we round, we come forward, lean forward as we round. And when we arch, we lean back. So think of it as you putting your butt into the back wall, and then you put in the back of the head into the front wall. So it's like a bull hitting the front wall. And this way will be just butting back towards the back wall. So let's just do that. Breathe out, the ball into the front wall. Breathe in, butt into the back wall. And now as you get into this rhythm, your own rhythm, when you do the ball into the front wall, we lift the feet up. So we're actually hinging on the knees. Do that 3 more times. And this exercise, you continue doing, and I will explain. This exercise is very good for the sciatica, which goes through the hips, through all those muscles in there to come out the leg. And sometimes, I hope you're still doing it. I'm just talking, but you're still doing your little flows. And as the sciatica goes through some of these muscles, it sometimes gets stuck, yeah? So this exercise is very good for sliding the sciatica up and down through the hip and the hip area, yeah? So 2 more. So it's like a cat-cow, but it's got the added benefit of actually helping slide the sciatica, and hopefully none of us will get the sciatica stuck or pinched. Coming back to neutral, and we relax there. So that's a little extra, almost medical exercise as well, which is very good. Now we're going to continue with the twisting. Left hand on the back of the head. So now we're going to use the shoulder. The right shoulder is going to take quite a bit of weight, and I'm always stressing how the shoulders have to be strong. If your shoulders are collapsing, then maybe we can, do this with the 2 hands down. But most of us can actually put the weight on the right hand. Nice broad hand, yeah, taking the weight, sharing the weight between the wrist, knuckles, and fingers. Left hand on the back of the head, and then breathe in and twist to the left. Breathe out, back to neutral. Breathe in, twist to the left. Breathe out. 4 more times. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Each time you can go a little bit deeper. We're now warming up the body. You can take more strain. Strain is good. It's not a negative thing every time we hear it. Or stress, I should say. We're going to stress the muscles so they stretch and then release. going to do the other side. I'm going to do it facing the camera just so that it's clear. So right hand on the back of the head, and then we breathe in and we twist to the right. And we breathe out back to neutral. Breathe in, twist to the right. Breathe out, neutral. We're not putting any weight on the head. I hope nobody's squashing their head down. We're just holding the arm there so that it actually accentuates the work that we do with the shoulders and the chest as opposed to with the arm. 2 more times. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Back to neutral. And that's this asana leads nicely into our thread the needle. Remember, some of you already know it. The ones that don't pay close attention, the ones that do, just try and refine how you feel about it. So right arm up, open the right chest. Breathe out, 50% threading the needle, which means putting the right hand under the left arm and the right shoulder leaning towards the ground. Breathing in again, right arm up. Breathing out. We're going to thread the needle fully, which means taking the arm to the ground, shoulder to the ground, cheek to the ground. And we're still using the left hand to take some weight and to adjust, yeah? The tendency here is for my left hip to twist, to fall to the left. So I'm going to push it back to try and straighten it. And then try and adjust your arms, your shoulder, your knees, your hips, so that it feels, I mean, I know that I cannot see you and you probably can't see yourself. Just try and see if you can feel that you're actually square with your hips. And you've got a nice twist on the spine. If you want further sensation, take the left arm above, behind your back and grab your pants, leggings or whatever on the right side. There's a half bind here. Let's count to 3, 2, and 1. And then we come up, actually pushing with the left hand, not using our spine to lift us up. Push with the left hand. Breathe in, right side, and release. Other side, breathe in, left arm up. Breathe out, 50% of thread the needle, if that is possible. And I'm going to move away from the wall. Breathe in, left shoulder up. Breathe out, let's go into the full thread the needle. So the left shoulder goes on the ground, the right hand continues holding the weight, left cheek on the ground, and then we just have this lovely twist on the spine. Same time as you try and adjust your hips so they feel as if they're actually square to the mat. If you want more sensation, before I said to take the arm over your spine, you can also just simply push with that right arm and you get a deeper twist, or you can lift the arm behind you and grab your pants or your leggings on the left side. Count to 5 here. Feel your spine, especially the lower part. Gets most of the twisting done. Your neck is probably also twisting your cervical spine. 2, and then again, pushing with the right hand, not lifting with the spine, and we come up, left shoulder up, and we release. Sit on your heels, if that's appropriate, if that feels good. It's actually nice to try and learn or put weight on the palm, as it were, the top part of your feet, as it means that we're stretching the foot forward, which is, you know, unnatural in the way we walk these days. So let's just take a little rest there. Now we're going to go on to a couple of exercises which require plank. Now for plank, the shoulders are taking a lot of weight. Some of us are not used to it, so I will give you an alternative. But if you've already been doing some planks, then be aware that we're going to try and open the shoulders out, yeah? So instead of sort of doing the plank like this, we're going to try and open the shoulders to bring the scapula down and in. So this. And then in that position, with your scapula down and in, which is the strongest position that we feel, then we can put our arms down and take the weight on the shoulders. If you're new to yoga or you feel your shoulders are just not going to take it, then knees down is a good way to start actually strengthening those shoulders. Now, as we're doing this, you already probably feel that your core has to engage. If the core doesn't engage, then we start doing this collapsing. So the core engages, which means that it's healthier for the back, and also you're working your core. Check your shoulders, maybe open the arms a little bit to get those shoulders nice and strong, scapula going down and in. Lift the right foot up. Hold for 3. Check your core is engaged. 2 and 1. Left foot up. 3, 2, 1. Stay on the plank. Right foot up. Right knee to right elbow. Breathe out. Back to the back without putting it down. Right knee to right elbow. Back to the back, put it down, left foot up. Left knee to left elbow. Breathe in. And the second time. Breathe in, feet down, knees down. And now loosen up, especially wrists and shoulders. Maybe the neck as well. Loosen up, little bits of work add up to a lot of change, yeah? So we don't need to be doing 50 push-ups, we just gently every day, or every class, we do a little bit more. Right, this one's gonna be technically more demanding, which is nice. So I think we enjoy both physically demanding and also mentally demanding class. So let's see if I can explain what we're doing as we do it. It's not very complicated, but it just requires moving around. So we go from plank, breathe in, and then we're gonna go right foot across your torso to the left. So I go my right foot across my body underneath, so you get this nice deep stretch on the right side of the body there. And then as you actually square your hips here, you find this nice stretch on the right. Then from there, we're gonna take all the weight on the right hand and open the chest side. You can stay here, or our next step, if you want the next challenge, would be to bend the left knee until your butt touches the ground. 3 times. Back to falling triangle, left hand on the floor, back to plank, and let's take a little rest before we do the other side. I'm gonna turn around, you can still do it. I've got a wall on one side of my mat, but you can do it in the same way you are. So we go back to plank. Now in this case, it's gonna be my left leg. It's gonna go across the front of my body at 90 degrees. Feel the deep stretch on the outside of the left leg. And then from there, when you're ready, maybe you need to adjust the left hand, and we're gonna open the chest to the side. This is called falling triangle. And then either stay here or we go for the 3 flexions. Breathe out, butt, side of the butt to the ground. Breathe in, stretch. Breathe out, breathe in. Out. Breathe in, go for 3, for 2, for 1. Right hand on the ground, left foot to plank. Down and relax for a moment. So that's that wasn't really very complicated, but it's just nice little sequence there. And that's us on the floor. Let's get up now and move on to our proper leg work. So let's start with the classic warrior one. So it's going to be right leg facing the front. When I say facing the front, it doesn't really have to be exactly, because you have to bear in mind what your knees, how your knees are put together, how your ankle is put together, and how your hips are put together, so that it's a natural position so that the knee can actually flow in that direction. Yeah, so that's facing forward at your own angle. Left foot is approximately 15, but once again, it's got to be such that I'm not sticking out and damaging my knee. and I'm not forcing it to the front and actually creating a not good situation on the hips. So natural, but obviously stressing the muscles. And then we lean forward. Okay, from here, the tendency might be to take the butt back. I'm going to try and bring the butt forward, chest open, neck up, and arms up. Now, this is a static pose. Remember that we do Hatha Yoga, or that's what I intend to do, which is more static than flowy. Yes, we don't get so many flows. Some people like the flows, some people like the repetitions. But here we just do some static poses. And this in itself is a pose, yeah? And although it seems to be passive, you know, I'm checking out what my lower back is doing. I'm checking out whether my knee engage. I'm checking out whether I can take this further forward. I'm checking whether my shoulders are open, broad, and facing forward. So you can be doing all this inside in what appears to be a passive pose. So let's hold this for 3, for 2, and for 1. Relax. Maybe right elbow on left knee, and then just open to the side. And take this left arm over the head to create this lovely straight line from the foot, knee, hip, shoulder, and left arm. This arm is here resting. It's not really, I mean, it's just resting. It's not really taking the weight. And then this in itself is a lovely stretch. We want to create strength, which is a little bit more advanced maybe. And if your body can withstand it, we'll release this right hand and also move it forward. And now obviously the spine, plus all the muscles are taking weight. So this is a strengthening pose as well as a stretchy pose. Both arms out, 3, 2, and 1. Elbow to knee. Find your hand to the side of the foot. If you have a block, I would encourage you to have the block there. And then now side opening. So it's a side triangle pose. And now this one is about opening the chest. Pushing the hands away from each other. 3, 2, leaning forward. Left leg locked, hopefully. Shoulders open, pushing that left arm up to the sky. 2, neck relax. And 1, release maybe everything to the center as you stand up. I'm gonna have a block on each side of the mat because I use them very generally, very regularly. So let's do the other side. Remember, so I have my left foot forward. I'm gonna put my left foot forward. You don't need to move from one side of the mat to the other. It's just so that I can face the camera. So my left foot is forward. My right foot is back. Again, find the nice position of the foot, of the feet. Lock the right leg. By locking doesn't mean hyperextend, it just means bringing the kneecap up. Hips facing forward, rotating forward, chest open, and arms up. And then this is your world, your practice, your yoga. I'm now away from you. So this is where you have to do your own, finding out what your right knee is doing, left thigh, shoulders, hips, arms, neck. Three, 2, maybe the hands go further up, not into the ears, but up into the sky. Hips tips forward a little bit further to stretch further the hamstring, the right hamstring. And 1, left elbow to left knee. And we just stretch the side of the body. I'm constantly adjusting. I don't know if you noticed, but it's just to find that nice spot where the weight is very nicely balanced on the floor. Okay, third variation, left hand onto the floor, maybe a block, and then just open to this triangle or this side angle. Pushing the hands away from each other. Leaning deeper into it. Checking your right knee is locked. Open the chest. Push the right hand into the sky. 3, 2, and release everything to the center of gravity to bring you into a nice, safe and healthy coming out of the pose. Okay, that's nice stretch of the legs. Let's now go on to a little bit more power. Right leg forward. And this time we're going to lean we're going to open allow the left heel to lift. So now we can really lean into it, yeah? Take all your weight or your top weight onto the arms. So this is just going to be leg work, yeah? And then from there, breathe out, touch the mat with the knee, breathe in, bring it up. Another time. Let's do that 5 times. So this is a nice deep stretch of the hamstring, the psoas, which is inside, and the strength of the legs. 3, 4, and 5. From there, hands on either side. Let's get the block. Hands on either side of the right foot. Rest the knee down. And then from there, we're going to take the left hand into that space on my top left part of the mat. I want to actually be facing the back, but I think the mic should work now. And then the right foot goes sideways so I can open the chest. I'm actually going to do it the other way so you can see what I'm doing. So this leg is allowed to twist in order that I can actually come to the side, yes? My chest is going to the side. Now make sure this knee is actually not, or the foot is in such a way that the knee is actually not taking too much negative twist. But for most normal healthy knees, a little bit of twisting is no harm. So I'm actually opening the chest to the side. Shoulder, left shoulder is strong, it's not collapsing. And then I'm actually pulling this hip out of the socket as well for some deep stretch. And then just enjoy that stretch. And then the last stage is you either stay here, or those who are able to, or who might even have a belt, which I didn't mention at the beginning of the class, but every class I like you to have a belt available. Grab the left foot with the belt or with the hand and bring it towards the glute, the bottom. So it's the same position, opening to the side, bringing the heel towards the glute, left shoulder strong, chest open. 3, 2, and 1. Release. Again, coming back towards your center, which is where you're less likely to encounter any damage. Okay, so now we're going to do it the other way. So I'll stay facing this. No, stay facing that way. So left foot forward. Remember this time, we're just going to work on the legs. So the weight can be released onto the thigh, the weight of the torso, yes, the body. And then we're going to deep, allowing that right heel to come up. So the left knee now is not so engaged. I mean, the right knee is not so engaged. And then we're going to touch the ground with the knee. 1, 2, 3. And the breathing, you might notice, it doesn't really matter whether it's in or out, as long as we're breathing. In this case, I'm actually breathing in as I go down and breathing out as I come out, which is the opposite to the other side. So it's not super important. 2 more times, just that we breathe. From there, we're going to do the side twist. So I'm going to put my right hand on the ground here, allow the knee to touch the ground. Okay, so we're now ready, semi-ready for this lovely twist. Allow this left foot to find a position and a place that we can actually really put that hip down to the ground. So that hip is trying to meet that other ankle. Open the chest to the side, pushing the knee or the hip out. Enjoy the twist, hip extension, right hip going down. And then you either stay here, or those who want the extra challenge can find the rope or your hand to grab the left foot and bring that heel to the glute. Continue doing that. I'm going to check the music. So enjoy the side twist, enjoy the hip. A little bit more twisting, opening out to the sky. And then release the foot and release everything towards your center of gravity. Sit on your heels. And then let's have a little child pose. You can do a child pose with the knees close together, or you can open the knees for what I think is now termed a wild child pose. But it allows you to let more of your hip in, tummy, chest in the gap, and then just sink into that child pose. Relax for a moment, let the body settle. As we stand up for some balance poses. So everybody's standing up. Right, we're going to do a classic I do often because it's very good for the hamstrings, which is the pyramid pose. The right foot forward, facing the front, generically. Left foot also facing approximately the front, although allow your hips to dictate that. And then from there, it's a short step. Yeah, this is going to be where we lean forward. Yeah, so it's pyramid pose. I'm going to have my blocks there because I always like to have them. I've got very short arms. No, that's a joke. It's just because they help. And then from there, hips facing forward, and we're going to fold. Yeah, we're going to fold at the hip. Klappen, I think the Germans would say. So we're folding. We're not diving into the floor. We're just folding. And by folding, I already feel my right hamstring stretching, and the left one right up the chain of muscles here. So that's the idea. And then from there, we can either stay here, or I'm going to today challenge us all to do some, again, strength work. This would be nice, stretching. But if we take our arms forward, then obviously all the weight of the torso is going to be on these muscles, which means that we're also strengthening them. So arms forward. We can, the little plant is in the way here. So I'm still stretching, but I've got my arms forward, chest open, the torso and arms parallel to the ground. 3. Stretch the head and the arms to the wall. 2 and 1. Back to the hips. And then I'm going to take my tummy towards the thigh, my chest towards the knee, and grab my blocks, yeah? And this is where now it's no strength. This is more of a stretching, pure stretching pose where I'm actually really letting this right leg stretch at the back. Hamstring, calf. And the left one should have a nice stretch on the Achilles, calf, and hamstring too. And then just deep, lean into it. So thumb is on the thigh, chest is going towards the knee. Now at this point, let's stay there. And apart from the ones that want the extra oomph, and then you can now flex your right foot. So I'm actually bringing my right foot to 90 degrees. And now obviously this Achilles and this hamstring and this calf is stretching even deeper. So this is optional, but it's a lovely deep stretch of the right leg. 3. You can even put the block there. And that really has an oomph. 2, and release the foot, hands to the waist, and then come up gently. That's a good one, eh? Let's do the other side. So left foot is facing the door in my case. The left one, we got extra background musings here today with the drill, which I don't know what they're doing drilling on a Sunday, but anyhow, that's another story. Okay, so we're gonna fold from the hip. Check that the hip is facing, is actually square to the mat, and then you're folding it forward. And then we're staying here. For those who want the extra challenge of strengthening the back, we're gonna take our arms forward. And just, yeah, make some noises, let the body express. 5, release the neck, arms forward, which doesn't mean into the ears, it means forward. 3, 2, and stretch a little bit further, and release the arms to the ground, or in my case, to the blocks. And then from there, we're going to take tummy to the thigh, chest to the knee. And okay, you could aim to get the head on the foot, but that's not, that last stage doesn't really do anything. The one that everybody goes for initially doesn't do much. It's really the tummy and chest that does the stretching. Let's just enjoy a stretch. I hope you're all feeling the left calf stretching, the left hamstring stretching, maybe a little bit of stretching the back here. And then for those yoga masochists, lift the left foot up. So you're flexing now the foot. We have the left foot at 90-degree angle. 3, 2, and what was that, 2? Oh, 1, release, hands on hips, and coming back up. Yes, nice. Ooh. Okay, so that's gonna be nice stretchy legs. And we're gonna go for a, okay, we're gonna go for standing splits, but before that, we're gonna take this strengthening of the back for one more exercise. So we're just gonna do a forward fold, yeah? So maybe find a nice position of your legs. Once again, they're related to your hips. Women have got broader hips, so they would tend to stand this way. If you make a woman stand like this, she'll have her legs like this, and the knees will be generally speaking. So find the point at which your legs, your feet are actually naturally in concordance with your hips, your knees, and your ankles. And then from there, we're just gonna, again, folding from the hip and down to the ground. Maybe we sit here, maybe our hands are on our ankles, maybe they're on the floor, and then just enjoy maybe ragdoll position, which would mean holding opposite elbows with opposite hands, and just let the weight. It's a relaxed pose, you're not really doing anything, we're just like a ragdoll, yeah, we're just letting the weight. Just actually, again, a stretch of the same muscle, but this time without forcing anything, just letting the weight do the work. Okay, hands on hips. And now we're going to actually do the strength exercise. So we're going to once again go parallel to the ground. My torso is parallel to the ground. And then this is already pretty good for most of us, but some of us might want to take it to the next level, which is again the same as before. Arms out, facing towards the wall, and then just stretch the shoulders forward and let the torso or the spine take the weight. And the legs, of course, but here we're doing extra work. Check that your neck is not actually doing any work, apart from holding the head up. It's not constrained. 3, Move the shoulders away from each other and into the wall, 2, and release down to the ground. And coming back out, middle micro bend on the knees, and we come up. Okay, now we're gonna do the splits, yeah? So I'm gonna have my blocks ready because, yeah, not so hot on splits. So right foot is on the ground. Let's see how we get into this. Hands on hips. We're gonna take the left leg up, and then start tipping forward until I'm actually holding the blocks, yeah? Now from there, you can stay there, or you can try and get this time, the hands on the floor is actually better because we're gonna try and get our tummy to the thigh and chest to the knee. And then take the left leg up. So this is our classic standing split, but this time we're gonna do it dynamically. So breathe out, left knee to the back of the right knee. Breathe in, stretch everything up. Breathe out, left knee to the back of the right knee. Breathe out, stretch up. 3 more times. And hold it up. And then this is the last challenge. Either stay here, or if it's in your practice, release the hands to the ankle and hold for 3, 2, open up the legs. 1, right hand to the ground, right hand next to the left, right foot next to the right foot, and coming up in to standing position. Wiggle the hips. And we go to the other side. I wonder if, let's do that facing the other way. Everybody good? Hope so. So, weight on the left foot. Hands on hips. Start tipping. Okay, I'm not really saying much about the left leg because there's so much going on that sometimes we just have to let the body find its own way, as we're not doing also Olympic yoga here. So from there, we're going to take the hands down if we can, because it's going to be a split. And then we're going to take that right leg right up, and the tummy towards the thigh, the chest towards the knee, and then breathe out, right knee behind the left knee. Stretch up, breathe out. Sorry, breathe in. Breathe out, right knee left to the back of the right knee. More times. Stay in splits, and either stay there or go for the ultimate challenge, releasing the hands onto the ankles. Three, 2, and 1. Knees back together, feet together, and coming up in a very gentle way. And then at this point, let's just everybody stand up, take a meditative Tadasana, mountain pose, feet relax, hips relax, chest relax, shoulders relax, palms facing forward or naturally falling to the side. Close your eyes. Let's just take a moment, become aware of our bodies. Open our eyes. And we come back. We continue. Yeah, I had more standing stuff, but I think we've done enough standing stuff today. So let's go on the ground and just finish this few sequences with an actual floor split, yeah? I know most of us cannot do the floor splits, but everyone can try this floor splits, right? So let's do that, yeah? We're gonna try, as I said, we've done, you know, a bit of work on the hips, so it might be a nice day to do it. But I would encourage you to, yeah, have blocks. I'm gonna be using the blocks to hold my body up. You can have a chair or the wall or just, you know, measure yourself. The other thing I find a nice trick is to not do it, the front foot, not do it on the mat because it doesn't slide, but actually do my front foot on the floor because I can slide it, yeah? So find what works for you. So we're standing on the left knee. If that the right knee, sorry. If that right knee, you don't like, or you find it too much work to have all the weight on the knee, you can fold the mat there. So you've got two thicknesses of mat on your knee that's on the ground. But we're gonna do it in stages, yes? So we're gonna go into a deep forward lean. So we're gonna lean into this. Yeah, so we're now opening the right hip here, open the left hip, chest up and forward. And then we're gonna go into a runner's stretch. Coming back forward and walking the feet 1 foot. Walking the foot 1 foot and leaning forward again. So we're gonna do this in 3 stages. You see what's happening here? You're moving towards the split in a nice, natural way. So I'm actually leaning down, finding my way to get the hip, left hip lifting up and that hip opening down. Again, trying to have the chest forward, the body not falling or collapsing, and then run a stretch from here. So now we're going to be stretching the outside or the back of the left leg. Coming back forward, walking the left foot. In fact, we're doing 2 stages, go straight into splits here. This is what I mean about the floor. I can now slide my foot forward to my natural splits. And my natural splits is not your natural splits, because my name is Elias and your name is something else. So we've got different splits. So just go to where your body nicely lets you, and then take it one little bit further, because the body always tries to cheat a little bit. No, I'm not. It's not a joke, but you know what I mean. It's nice to go that tiny little bit further. So I've got this really nice deep stretch happening here and on my front, the front quad, right quad. Now we're going to try not to collapse into. That's why the blocks are so important. So I'm actually keeping my body up. We're going to count to 5 in these splits. My personal splits and your personal splits. 3, 2. Okay, let's just, for those who want the extra sensation, just lean into it. Before I go to 1, 3, 2, and 1, coming back up. And then to release, really try and bring that left foot back towards your left hip. And that's why the blocks again, or whatever you're using, are very important. And then we come out of it. Tidy up the mat, and we go on the other side, yeah? So same practice. I really hope that you all got blocks, yeah? I mean, I totally stress it, but they are very useful, and to an extent, they're actually like a safety feature of our yoga, you know, our Western yoga. We weren't born by the Ganges 5,000 years ago. So same setup. As I say, I use this technique just because I can slide my foot. Maybe you have carpet and it invalidates the operation, but in my case, it works well. So we're gonna go for a forward lunge, just normal forward lunge. And when you're doing the forward lunge, I'm hoping that you can feel what's happening in this muscle here. You probably cannot feel the psoas right deep inside, but we know there's stretching as well. And then we're also stretching the back of the right one and compressing here in the right hip. Coming back to a runner stretch. Couple of breaths here. Coming back forward. Before we lunge, we're going to walk our foot, one foot, in imperial measurements. And then we lean into it. Lean into it. Oh, okay, you continue there. Oh, I've got all these issues today with batteries. It's been the most technically challenging day. You're leaning into it, enjoying the stretch. And then we come back out towards the runner stretch. So we're doing the runner stretch. 3, 2, and 1. And then we come forward. And now we're going to slide that right foot completely to our maximum position for the split. Holding the weight on the arms. Enjoying that split. Three, 2, and then for the yoga master case, we're going to lean into it. Tummy to thigh, chest to knee. 3, 2, and lifting the torso, bringing that right heel towards the right hip to naturally come out of it without jerking any very stretched muscles. So we're going to sit on our heels, tidy up the mat, and we're going to lie on our backs in a second. Okay, let's do something relaxing for the spine, which is if you got blocks or a blanket, then have it next to you. We're going to lie on our backs. We're going to stretch again, doing a passive stretch of the psoas down there, yeah, right deep inside. So we're going to lie on our backs. Relax. Bring your feet to your bum as you planting the feet on the ground, lifting the hip, and then placing in the tailbone, yeah, in the sacrum here, not in the back and not in the bum, in the sacrum, in that bone, place one block. Yeah, it's a nice, natural, strong part of the body. And then stretch the legs, gently stretch the legs as you feel these muscles here, the front stretching. It's a lovely stretch to finish the class. You could do this, you know, in some during the day. It's just it's the counter to sitting down. Yeah, all the sitting that we do for those who work sitting down. I know some people work in a standing position, whether you be, you know, a teacher or in a hospital, you're doing more standing than sitting. But for the people who are sitting, then this is a nice way to stretch this. You can, if you don't feel much, then you're welcome to actually come up again and put a second block. This is very personal. This is not for everybody. And then just let those legs stretch down, and then just have this lovely, it's like a pontoon, I think it's called. Yeah, it's like a bridge thing. And then just enjoy. Put your arms anywhere where it feels nice. Maybe I tend to put them behind me or above me, so I'm also stretching the shoulders. And let's just take this as a mini 5-breath shavasana. If the lower back is too strained, then don't force it. This is meant to feel nice. So come out if your lower back is complaining. complaining too much. And then gently come out of it, bringing your feet back towards your butt, planting the feet on the ground, lifting up gently the hips, removing the blocks or the blankets, putting your butt back down. And now we're going to go into Shavasana. We have a couple of minutes, but before that, let's just do a mini twist from here, yeah? So now it's very gentle twist as we did that pontoon position. You know, the lower back is already stretched. So let's just take the knees up, knees to the right, and without any great force, left shoulder to the left side, knees to the right side, and just let the spine again. Just relax and let everything fall into place. Bringing the knees up, maybe squaring the hips if you move them, which I did do. And then knees up and knees to the left side and right shoulder to the right side, touching the ground if possible, or if it feels good. And then glance into the right hand. Come out of that, bring your knees up. Stretch the legs out. And just wiggle your body so that it settles nicely on the ground. Maybe bring the arms next to your body. And we're going to go into Shavasana here. So you're welcome to spend the next 3 minutes just lying down, enjoying the relaxation of the body. You're also welcome to stay with us and follow a guided relaxation, 5 to 10 minutes. Or you're welcome to just switch off, log off, and yeah, we'll see you next Sunday. Thanks for joining.